What is going on, y'all? Something happened to my lighting down here. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna put a video on for just a second. I don't see anybody in here yet anyway.
Model Earth combat Model Earth combat boots that she bought in Concord City. Whoa. Man, my mom's sick, man.
Your mom. Why don't you just say something about my
Mama. Yeah, my mother. Yeah.
Vinny, your mother. Oh, shoot. Grab that. All right. I knocked it off and then stuff. I said to Aaron, I said, you left the transmission didn't push what they did.
Ah.
That's what I said, yeah, we can like that.
Yeah, have repairs done. Maybe repair it. That's trickery.
Not trickery. When the Cadillac was broken and rocked,
Yeah.
what damage was done?
None.
What's going on, y'all? Had some technical difficulties there. Sorry about that. Get this out of here. Man, just not enough time in the day. All right. Try to get on here and watch what's going on. Turn my comments on. Chuck, what's up, brother man? My brother from another mother. Hopefully this sounds okay. I didn't even check the mic. What the heck is going on? All right, here we go. Let's see. How we looking? How we looking? How we cooking?
Before you scroll away, you need to hear this. Republicans across the country are moving
Of course, I'm on the channel that has
to enact
commercials.
massive
Well, there's commercials on my
laws
live stream.
and bring about Jim
I better be
Crow
getting paid for this shit.
I urgently need you to join me in the fight to protect voting rights from this assault. This assault on our right to vote by signing this petition before the deadline closes. Republican lawmakers have already introduced
There, skipped it.
voting rights from this assault. This assault on our right to vote by signing this petition before the
All
deadline.
right, hold on. What's going on, Big Chuck? My super mod is the first one in here today. I gotta set you up as my moderator so you can block people's shit when they start acting stupid, which they all act stupid anyway. So, anyway, what's going on? Been I got a brand new huge monitor for Father's Day from Kaylee and Jeremy. It's awesome, but I still have this crappy one over here that freaks out when I'm trying to see what's going on. So, I'm just checking to see what is going on up in here. Does it sound okay, Chuck? Because I didn't even check it before I turned everything on. Yes, I could. Let me check it real quick. Audio. Do we have audio? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Yeah, I heard that. I if I can show you what I was working on today. It was definitely not the same stuff. There's a little echo. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me fix that. No, actually the echo cancellation's on, so I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. Let's see if I can show you what I was working on today. Like totally not the normal shit that I work on. You see that thing? The monitors. It's a big old. It's a D8N. I don't know if you can see that. We call it the Dayton. It's an old ass bulldozer, like from like 1988. I'm fixing the air conditioning on it, believe it or not. Yeah, it's a bulldozer, correct. And it's old. And it's huge. Like there's a ladder there. That's like a freaking 4-foot ladder on it. Yeah, my old ass digging around working on that piece of shit. But it was something different. I got it apart today, I can say that much. I dropped a wrench down in it. I dropped a ratchet down in it with a socket. So I had to go back and get my magnet because there was literally where it was at, there was no one around. I mean, no one around. Which kind of sucks because usually there's guys there, but yeah, I was literally all by myself. I was kind of scared. I needed somebody to hold my hand. You know how I am. No metric sockets on that one. It was actually a 9/16 wrench and a 3/4 inch socket. No 10 millimeters on this one as of yet. Probably will be once I get this compressor on it because, man, I had a hell of a time mashing this compressor up. But it's close. I can make it work. So just some minor modifications, but it is a bulldozer, so it's got plenty of room to move shit around, you know. Man, this monitor is so bright. There, I want to turn it down. I don't know if that helped any, but man, it looked like it was reflecting off my face. But it's beautiful weather today, though. Gosh, I mean, you can't ask for any better weather than we had for sure. So, but yeah. Hey, I saw. I was just at Clancy's getting dinner, and was talking to a guy, and I saw it too. Bill's old Corvette was on there for sale. I was like, "Hey, what's up, Don? What's up, Rob?" Me and Chuck on here just shooting the poop here for a minute, waiting on everybody to show up. I think I might have been late. I was out running errands, and I literally, I just got here. I've been on here for like 10 minutes, so I think I made it just in time. It's sold already? Nice. That's cool. That was a cool car for sure. Yeah, I was like, that's got to be Bill's car. It's got to be because I saw it said the Vera whatever on Vera 3 or Vera 2, whatever it was. But yep. I didn't think it'd take very long to sell. That's for sure. That was a really good car, a really nice car. I mean, I do not like Corvettes, but as far as Corvettes go, that was a really nice one. Man, we got 4 people in here. What's up, everybody? We're just chilling and illing. I wanted to try and actually make a topic for tonight. I wanted to talk about brake work. If anybody has any brake questions or brake suggestions or brake complaints on any kind of car, I don't care. Or we can talk about air conditioning on a bulldozer, which I was working on today, but yeah. Well, knowing who the driver was, that wouldn't surprise me. The transmission was noisy. Didn't you put a clutch in that thing, didn't you, Rob? I didn't know if I had anything new to show you guys or not. Shit. Let's see. I know our group gained some more people this week. Rob's been doing all the dirty work and making sure they're legit accounts where they, because I had one hack me. Yeah, we're up to 178. We're cruising right along on that one. Yeah, you did do it. I thought I remembered you doing the clutch and stuff on that one. But it was a fairly low miles car, wasn't it? Had a Corvette engine in it. Boom. Oh man, this monitor over here just kills me. Is that my microphone making that noise? Maybe that's what you're hearing, Chuck. The springs are like rubbing. I know this is probably really noisy right now. Hold your ears. All right, let's try that. So yeah, anyway. With a Corvette engine. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to get this screen to straighten up. So yeah, what's going on? What's happening? What's new? What's old? What'd it be like? I'm trying to see what my feed looks like. Go to this one. It's funny, I go on my other channels. I have 2 other channels, which well, you guys may know if you watch me, I dumped a bunch of videos from my other 2 channels onto this channel. Because I don't have the energy to try and keep track of 3 channels, that's for sure. Nice, had the old 440 out, huh? That's good. Clean her out, blow the dirt out of her. It's always a good thing. God damn it. Get this. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this monitor, but it is just not happy. But anyway, it's a monitor. 5-barrel makes it a pooch. Hey, we can put. I got a couple more 4-barrels back here. We could put one more 4-barrel on it for you. This one's like an 830. It's all. That's actually that's the carburetor off my drag car. I've done all kinds of work to that thing. Yeah, 1-barrel. I bet it does struggle on that 1-barrel though until you put the big dog to it. Probably makes one hell of a noise too, I'm sure. Sound like a Hoover vacuum cleaner. Seeing how many people will get in the room tonight. But yeah, I was wanting to talk about brake stuff. I was just I want to try and make a topic for the evening usually. Not that that's where it'll end up, but yeah, just brake questions in general, brake advice. Yeah, like a respirator. Yeah, I'm sure it does. That sucker's probably loud as hell. But Move this camera over a little bit. There we go. I got me some new fancy LED lights back here. I was farting around with last minute. You know, some Amazon Prime Day shit. We could make it like a, yeah, we can make it chain. I think I can make it like get really spastic here. Let's see. It'll probably piss off my camera. Like, woo! Pretty cool though. It's got a little remote. You can change all the colors around and whatnot. So I just had it on, I think I had it on fade. Yeah, I think that's what I had it on. Yeah, let me put it back on there. There we go. Oh, it is totally annoying everybody. And I've got that red light over there, and then this monitor is like, woo! It's bright. You can probably actually tell the difference. New monitor I got for Father's Day. Here's a break question. Why do some cars have 2 piston calipers versus 1 piston? Great question. And I can give you about 13 different answers. First of all, I believe the main reason they came up with multiple piston calipers was to dissipate the heat faster. There's more outside lines to dissipate the heat from. You got 2 small ones versus 1 big one. The second was efficiency, because it can put more pressure on, you know, it can spread the load out over the actual brake pad itself. A lot of the old cars, I almost have to draw it. So, and I'm not an artist whatsoever. What's up, Jeremy? You feeling all right, brother? So on the older cars, and this is my generic brake pad, which is just so they had that brake pad, and then they had this one big piston in the middle of it. Oh, shit. You can't see it. I'm working on it here. Okay, so you had that brake pad, and then you had this big piston, and look, this is the only spots where it touched. So you're literally only using about less than half the piston. So then they went to a dual piston with 2 small ones. See what you got? You got 100% of the contact area on the brake pad. I don't know how well you can see that. See the little piston? Boop, boop. And they were touching the pad. This big one was just hanging out there. And a lot of times it would actually cock the pad in the bore or in the actual bracket and wedge it. Old Chrysler brakes were notorious for, and they had phenolic pistons in them. So they were like ceramic. They would get hot and get all wedged in the bore. And so back still messed up that stuff. Oh, what did I say here? Highway speed are fine, kind of. Oh yeah, I bet it does do go with a 245 gear. But yeah, the main reason was just the contact area shock is, you know. So even when the piston did contact 100% of the brake pad, it was only pushing in on the center, like the center 33%. So then they went to the dual, you know, then they're, you know, closer to even pressure all the way around the edges of it and on the top and the bottom. So that's the long and the short. And then the other one is just the engineers wanted to make something new so they could get a bonus for coming up with a new design. So, and we all love engineers. Ish. Great question. We're talking about brake stuff tonight, Jeremy. If you got a brake question or tip, even though it's the same people are always in here, but hey, you never know. It might spark the imagination tonight. I'm watching the replay because there's such a delay in it tonight. I think Rob said he's tightening up a tilt steering in a Chevy truck. Those are always fun. Let me make sure that there's not messages are getting blocked. are good. We are good in the hood. Whoops. Sorry. I'm trying to get. Oh, the electric e-brakes on the new Ford. Well, I mean, just about everything has electric e-brakes now. I don't know if you've encountered them. Like the first one I ever ran into was a Volkswagen. I think it was a Jetta. And my scanner wouldn't do it. Put it into service mode. So I just did it manually. I unplugged the connector and just reversed the polarity and ran the piston back in manually. But like the Dodge Darts, you actually just go into I think you just go into the radio and you can put it into service mode and it just automatically backs the pistons out for you. I think it's kind of dope myself because you don't have to push the pistons back in. It automatically just pulls them back in. So, but I don't know about the Fords. When you put it in a service mode, does it automatically retract the piston like the Dart that I was talking about, which is not a Dodge, it's a fucking Fiat, but I think it's kind of cool. The only thing I don't like about them on the Jeeps and all the new Chrysler products, I have two. I have more than two, but I have a lot of the Dodge work trucks, like the V6. You know, we call them. It's called a Classic 1500. When you're pulling on the rack and you open the door to see if you're lined up, the fucker will either put it in park or it'll set the parking brake on you when you open the door. Like smack your face against the messed up fusion because I didn't put it in service mode. Try and move it. Oh, yeah. And see, I almost did that on that Volkswagen I was telling you about. Oh, bowling night with a wrist raise. No, I wish, Don. I've got carpal tunnel, and now I have a cyst that's pushing on the nerves. It's really messed up. I'm going to a surgeon on Monday to get it looked at. I've been fighting it for about over a year now. I had some bad surgeries, 2 or 3 years ago, and I really don't want anybody cutting on me. So yeah, this is why I've been fixing it lately, but I haven't been able to sleep. And my wife kind of gave me an ultimatum that I need to go get it fixed because I don't sleep and I keep her up all night. Yeah, no, beating on hubcaps. That's what did this. This is beating on hubcaps and breaking tires off. You're right, Jeremy. Yeah, see this, kids? This is the dumb shit that happens. I don't know if I can show you the knot on it or not. It might not show up. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can get the camera in the right spot. It's right there. You might actually be able to see it. And it's weird because it comes and goes. It's not like a normal cyst. Like it's not full of fluid or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. That's why my family doctor was like, yeah, you need to get that looked at. So, but anyway, all right. Messed up a fusion because I didn't put it in service mode. Try to remove it and broke contact. Really cow. Yeah, like I said, I almost did that with that Volkswagen because I didn't know. I had no clue that the parking brake was electric, and I think I tried to do like the the normal tool with the little fingers on it and turn it in, and also I'm like, oh shit, what am I doing here? And then I got into the Pro-Demand or whatever and looked it up. And it said, oh yeah, take your scan tool. Yeah. And this was before I had my Autel that did, it does a lot of European shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this manually with my old power probe. And I did it and it worked. But like I said, I was about this close to messing it up myself. So it happens. We mess stuff up. That's how we learn. Fuck it, I mean, I know it cost you money, but lesson learned. You won't do that again. It's like this, like you said, beating tires on. I yell at the kids at the shop all the time, and I mean that shit that we work on is heavy freaking duty. Snap-on being the oh yeah, I don't doubt that one bit. That's been the problem with scanners ever since their inception. Back when I was a boy, I want to do that. We didn't use scanners. Like the first time I ever used a scanner was on an ABS, probably, and I was probably 5 or 6 years into my career because we actually had to have a scanner to bleed a lot of the GM cars. They're like, oh, you can't. And it's the manufacturers that are doing it. They're making it where you got to take them to the dealers and get them worked on. That's the only reason they're fucking doing it, And, there was legislation for many years. It went on for a long time until they had to start sharing information with, the aftermarket people like Snap-on and, Autel and OTC and, the list goes on and on, Bosch. But yeah, for many, many years, they didn't share the information. I'm like, no, you have to take it to us, I still think it's bullshit, when you got to program a module or something anymore and you've got to buy a subscription to it. I don't agree with that. I think that information should be, if you have the equipment to do the programming, you should, right, Tech 2, you should have, if you have the equipment to do the programming, you should have access to the software or the hardware, whatever the fuck it is, to be able to, like when you put a fuel pump control module in a GM truck and you got to program the VIN in it. That is fucking stupid. Like, you should just be able to literally go in there, copy the VIN, bam, 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 put it in. Like, it's bullshit, And then the last time I had to have something done like that, when I went to the dealership, I had to show the kid how to fucking do it. He didn't know how to do it. I was so pissed. So pissed. He's like, well, what's wrong with it? I'm like, I put a fuel pump driver control module on it. Well, it won't start. I'm like, no shit. He's like, well, how'd you drive it down here? I was like, I drove it down here in limp mode. I crossed the wires over and had the fuel pump wide open. And he was just looking at me like I had 3 heads. He didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I'm like, so I took my jumpers off and plugged it in. I need you to program the VIN in the fuel pump driver module. He had no fucking clue what he was doing. And then the bastards wanted to charge me for it. I can't make this shit up, I'm telling you. What, Jerry? At least do something about like Honda radios and yeah. Well, that's what's funny. Is that Autel that I have? I can program Honda keys with it, even when you don't have any. You put an ignition in it, I don't need a key. Like that thing, it does all the Asian stuff and the European stuff, like boom, boom, boom. Some of the Chrysler stuff, but I have to call which I know the guy over at the parts house. I just call him with there's a 4-digit code you need to be able to, the vehicle PIN number is what it is. So you can extract a 5-pin number out of the car, and then you have to call the dealer, and they'll give you a 4-pin. Well, a lot of those guys won't do it for you, but we know guys that work at the Chrysler dealership, so they're like, oh yeah, you just, what's the 5 code? And you give it to them, they're like, oh, the 4 codes are la la la, and then you can get in program keys and body control modules and all that good shit. But yeah, I just think it's just I don't know. My only word for it is chicken shit, because they should be sharing that information. Customer already bought the fucking car. They should be able to take it anywhere they want to get it worked on. Because in my opinion, and I might offend some people, but in my opinion, the dealerships are not hiring people that know what they have no clue what they're doing. They have no clue what they're doing. Yeah, my Autel do keys. And no offense to you guys, but I have never been fond of the Snap-on tools either. But Like Rob has one. What was cool when Rob had one in the shop was usually what, yeah, usually what Rob's wouldn't do, mine would do, and vice versa. That was the cool thing about having the Snap-on and the Autel in our shop, because our shop didn't own their own fucking tool, so that was pretty cool. But like I said, I just, for what you pay for them, I've never really been impressed with them. I just, of course, I've always been a cheap ass, but did I miss something you said there? Rob, where are you at? Are you commenting on shit that we talked about like 30 minutes ago? Am I missing something here? He must have. Chuck hacked me out a long time ago. All right, anyway. But yeah, it's kind of how I feel about those guys. Yeah, you got the electric parking brakes going on now. What else weird shit do we got? I guess that's really the only really weird thing we got going on. I mean, I don't know about you, but it seems like the brake pads are really hard and they're really noisy nowadays. And I believe it's because, they've taken all the copper out of the composition of the brake pad, the material. They've taken the copper out of it. I don't think it's absorbing a lot of the noise and stuff anymore. They seem really noisy to me. Like, I mean, I've got a brand new Ford that I was driving today. It's got, that scared the shit out of me. I was driving this Ford today. It had like 400 miles on it, and my light filter fell off there. And the brakes are noisy as shit, squealing and making all kind of noise. Rob and I ran into a brake bleeding issue we could discuss. You can explain it better. Have at it. Sorry. I'm making sure I'm not missing any comments because sometimes it blocks them. So give me just a second. Yeah, Don said, too much for me. I'll stick to brakes and oil changes. Yeah, exactly. Do that. But that's kind of why I want to get into working on the old shit again, because the new shit, Well, it's like working on heavy equipment. That's the cool thing about it is, a lot of it doesn't have emissions. Well, actually, the new stuff does. We got a damn concrete saw at the shop. It's got a damn a DEF system on it. Like, what the fuck? It's a little like 1-cylinder diesel engine. Yeah. Is that Rob Weeks? No, that's Rob, my brother. That's Robert. That's Robbie Hayes. Actually, didn't Robert Weeks pass away? Now that I think about it. Yeah, that's what I've been running into, Don. It's like they're not wore out. They're just freaking wore out. Oh, the monitor is great, man. It's like half the light that's on my face is from that monitor. I had to turn it down. It's like the sun. Oh, Rob's sleeping now? Okay. Oh, Rob is okay. I get mixed up. So Rob is the younger one, because his dad owned that Marina Auto Sales or whatever, correct? That was because I raced with Gail. And I can't remember which one I get mixed up. S10 wouldn't let fluid at rear brakes until I smacked the pedal a few times. Gee, I wonder what that was. I'm going to let Rob answer that question. Or maybe Jeremy can answer it. Or hell, maybe Don can answer that question. What would shut the fluid off to the rear brakes? Huh? Defective tech. Oh, shit, Chuck. That's a good one. No, you had a fucking... Don't ask me. If it's an older one, it was a proportioning valve that was stuck closed because the rear brake line blew out. And there's a little valve in there that moves back and forth. So when it's here, it lets fluid go to the front. It lets fluid go to the back. Well, when the rear line blows out, it drops down and blocks the rear fluid from coming in and out. So you have to reset it. But I could be wrong if it didn't have a proportioning valve. If it had an ABS block, it probably had a valve in it too that was also stuck. Yeah, there you go, Jeremy. See? You're a fart smeller, Jeremy. Let's see what Rob says, though. He must be busy tonight because usually he's... Let me make sure he didn't text me that something's going on. Yeah, here you want to see what I was working on today? See that Jewel 1988? It's a D8M Caterpillar bulldozer. I was working on the air conditioning on it. We call it a Dayton. It's one big freaking behemoth. Suicide brakes on your valance. Yeah, the old drum brakes. Oh, yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun, Jeremy. And I was out there by myself out in the boonies, like out in the middle of nowhere because they're building a new dump site up by the Animal Resource Center. I mean, it's back in the middle of freaking nowhere. And there was nobody there. Usually there's guys in there, with bulldozers and backhoes working. None of those guys were there. So I got it off. Obviously it's a 1988, so it had R12 in it. The only thing I could find close, which obviously was a 134, I was going to switch it over anyway, which actually I already retrofitted this last year. Excuse me. So all I could find was a 134 compressor. And it's close. So I had to get it off, take it back to the shop. The harness wasn't right, so I had to splice the two harnesses together. And so I had to order some ester oil. So then in the morning, I have to load up a generator, the AC machine, and all my shit to be able to go do it. So, yeah, it's going to be fun tomorrow. I'll be out there all day tomorrow finishing it up. And hopefully the belt's still good. No, but Rob, the AAA on Kemp has one. Well, we have one collectively. Like, I can go over to solid waste over on, over off the highway on Edmond-C. Where the transfer station is, where the dump is. That's where I can go and I can get their machine and use it. I have a couple vehicles that have 1234 in them. The stuff is stupid expensive. You can ask Rob. He just did one. It was a proportioning valve. What a quinky dink. I'm just being a smart ass. But yeah, whenever you've got an older car that blows either a front line or a rear line, so that pin, that pin is my pin. So, here's your front lines, here's your rear lines. When everything's good, it just kind of floats here in the middle, but the rear line pops and it drops down, blocks fluid from going to the rear line. That way you still got front brakes, and vice versa. That's what the prop valve does. So, yeah. Some people call it a metering valve. Some people call it a proportion valve. Some people call it a piece of shit. Some people call it a SOB. Yeah, Rob has been doing a lot of 1234 stuff. He's like the 1234 beast from the motherfucking East. There, I'd crack my neck. I wasn't trying to be fancy or anything. Rob, are you going to get on here and help me out? I got to freaking get some beers. Oh, I got something here. What am I talking about? Oh. So what other kind of weird brake problems have we ran into? Like I said, there is whatever that California green leaf bullshit law was to take the copper out of them. It's a longer process. It recycles it like 3 times, doesn't it, Rob, before it charges it? It takes longer to do it than a normal, like if you put it on auto, it cycles this stuff like 3 or 4 times, and the shit's flammable too. You got to be careful with it. Oh, losing power steering. You mean like a Hydro Boost system? Like what's on my truck? I know you're up to speed. I didn't know if you were getting on here live or not, was what I was asking. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just going to have to go let the dogs out. I noticed the other day, well, I told you about that. I told Jeremy about the old deal with my trailer brake controller on my truck. And I felt like a total dumbass when I was working on it. So there's that relay that I replaced, Rob. Yeah, I had that happen to me one time in a Suburban. It scared the shit out of me because you have no brakes, no power steering. Like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah. Yeah, that Hydro Boost stuff's scary. My truck has it. And I actually noticed the other day that it's leaking power steering fluid like inside the truck through the pedal. I need to get the Rob said Hydro Boost is awesome. I know that Rob and I have ran into Hydro Boost problems over the years more than once, especially on big, working trucks and stuff. And then, we got these cars with these integrated trailer brake control modules like mine. And the reason why it's integrated, because it's actually integrated into the ABS so that, the trailer brakes will pulse just like the truck brakes do. And I didn't realize it. I thought, back there on above the tire on a Chevy truck is the fuel pump driver module. And then I got to remember, and I'm like, no, it's up in the front of the gas tank. The older ones were in the back. And I thought that the module that's back there with the relay for the trailer brake control brakes, I thought that was a fuel pump control module. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Well, last year at this time, I had a broken wire going to the relay, the power to the relay, and the code was lost communication with trailer brake control relay. Well, now it's a code in the body control module that it lost communication with the trailer brake control module. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? Well, I do all the pinout tests. There's voltage here, if there's amperage here, blah, 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 I go through the whole thing. It says replace the trailer brake control module. So I'm like, well, fuck. I'm going to Lake Erie this weekend. I'm going to be towing the camper for 3 hours. I better go ahead and just order it. So I come in the house, and it's hotter than hell outside. This was Father's Day earlier in the day. And I just get on Amazon, and I ordered. They had like a kit. It was the module, the relay, and the little switch inside with the trailer brake control, up, down, blah, blah, blah. Yes, my brake is built into the truck. Yeah, it's built into the truck. So, it's not an aftermarket one. It's a GM. Yeah. So I came in here and I ordered all this shit, and I get to thinking, I'm like, man, it can't be that module. It just can't be. So I go back out, and it's hotter than fucking. I'm laying in the driveway, and I'm looking around. No. Well, when the guys put the gooseneck hitch in this thing, they pinched all kinds of. Why are you calling me, Raha? Yo.
Hey,
What up?
your comments are about 5 minutes behind, bro.
Well, it's not my. It's the whole feed's behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're reading that stuff, I look back and it's about 5 minutes behind. So I'm not sure if you can refresh it.
Probably not. But I'll make sure it's not on a delay. Let me make sure it's not in slow mode. What the fuck? The feed's just slow. Like I'm going from one up to the other. It's just slow.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not in slow mode. Everything's good. It's just we just got a bad feed tonight.
Oh, hopefully it doesn't get worse when more people come on.
Yeah. Well, we ain't having much on here tonight anyway, and we're 49 minutes in, so yeah, we're good.
All right, cool.
All right.
I just wanted to tell you that.
Okay.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, you're right. Most of the time it is the ground, but this one, like I said, it has its own solid state relay, and then it actually has a big square module that's up there above the tire. Like I thought it was a fuel pump driver control module, but no, it's the integrated trailer brake control module, the ITCM, and it had lost power to it. Well, actually, it said it. I was reading power of the Power Probe, which the Power Probe doesn't draw any electricity, so it was like 9.7 volts, and it's supposed to be 12. So I got an old test light with an actual light bulb in it. As soon as I hit it, boop, the light went out. It just killed it. So I'm like, okay, I got a broken wire. So I start looking. I start going back because I replaced the power wire to the relay, which is another separate circuit. Last year about this time, I replaced that. So then I start following that wire up. I found another fucking bad spot in it where they had patched it. And it was all green and gross. So I fixed that. So then I'm following the other power wire up to that was the relay wire. I'm going from the module wire now. And yeah, literally where the frame bracket for the gooseneck is, I pinched it on both sides of it. I'm like, God damn it. How can you not know you pinched that? So anyway, I'm watching my feed to see how far behind it is. I'm gonna wave at. Hi, that's my boat, Jenny. Let me see how long it takes to get there. I'm only about 30 seconds behind on the feed, so I don't know what's going on with the comments because I'm seeing them as soon as they're popping up. Let me make sure they're not coming up over here faster. But well, Jeremy commented 2 minutes ago, and I think I answered it almost instantaneously, didn't I? But probably going to let you guys watch I'll watch this for a minute. I'll be right back. Yeah, it is pretty close. That's what I thought. Like Rob. I don't know what it is. Rob seems to always be behind on the comments. I wonder if his is in slow mo. Yeah, see, yeah. Thank you. Don't mind me. I'm just a spectator. You're just enjoying the show, huh, Don? I mean, if you got any questions, dude, just let me know. That's for sure. Well, I know you. Oh, that's right. We were getting ready to talk about the old suicide drum brakes. I think it's about a 20-second delay. Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it, and it's nothing to do with my end of it. It's just it goes from this software that I'm using to the YouTube software, which is really sucks, and then from there on, if I don't use this one, we'd probably be behind like 2 minutes. So, but yeah, Don, the old drum brake cars. Excuse me. I remember when I first, back when I was a boy, I started working on cars. We had cars still with 4-wheel drum brakes, and we were working on Volkswagens, especially. If you did not have the brakes adjusted properly on a Volkswagen, it either would have no brake pedal, or that thing would drag you off the road one way or the other. So I got really good at adjusting drum brakes over the years. So I feel your pain on those, but from a drag racing point of view, they're lighter and they're less drag than a disc brake is. So a lot of guys that I drag raced with, they still had drum brakes all over them. So the slant still has drums. So you got disc brakes on the big one. And Jeremy says I loathe drum brakes. It's because you just don't do enough of them. I can do them in my fucking sleep. Well, you should see the drum brakes I work on now. All the big rigs still have drum brakes on them. So you're talking about fucking brake shoes that are big as my damn head. Yeah, I had to do Hunter's drum brakes on the back of his truck because he's never done drum brakes before. So, and believe me, they used to be a lot more complicated than they are now. They have really dumbed them up. But they're not the most efficient. They don't dissipate heat well. They don't do well when they get wet. I mean, Don can answer all these questions for you because he's got one with drums all the way around it. But I mean, as far as simplicity and weight reduction, if you got a drag car, you're only having to stop once every couple hours, or yeah, brake chambers suck, especially if it's one of those low boy trailers that you can't hardly get under. I freaking hate those, dude. They are horrible. But I mean, the problem is with brake chambers is most of the time you go do one, it's on the side of the road because it's broke. And the bad thing is when you have a brake chamber go bad, what's it do on an air brake system? Right rear on the slant locks up first. Fun to hit it downtown enough to squeeze load for about a second. Yeah, they'll do it. And the reason that is because they're not all adjusted equally. So that one's the tightest one. So it's the first one to react. All the other ones you got to push the pedal further and further down to expand them. Yeah, it is cool having disc brakes on it, that's for sure. But like I said, it's it's something that's going to be around for quite some time, unfortunately. But yes, I like disc brakes because they dissipate heat faster. They're more efficient. Stop a hell of a lot faster, and you can stop a hell of a lot faster more than one time. Except in the old days when there were organic brake pads. Those things would get hot and you would still have brake fade. Back when your car came out, Robin, in the 70s. Yeah, having the brake adjuster gauge does definitely make it nice to stop straight. Like back when I was doing, we didn't have all that fancy shit. We took it out and drove it like, oh, it's pulling right. I need to put a couple clicks on the left. Oh, the pedal's low. I need to click the rear ones up. All right. I'm going to leave you with some entertainment for a second. What shall I leave you with? Let's see. I'll leave you with the dump truck making a big pothole in the road. I'll be right back. What up? Little pause for the cause. Check this beast out. Think about that bad motherfucker. Oh shit. Sorry, guys. This land doesn't go fast enough to need monster brakes. 440 on the other hand. Yes, this is true. Yeah, it was a holy sinkhole, wasn't it? I think I would have shit my pants. Just saying. Yeah, you do have room to turbo your phone. You got room to turbo fucking anything anymore. You can just put it in the trunk. I think it'd be cool to put a rear turbo on my truck one of these days. I started doing that years ago on that damn Dakota. I should have done it. He does always have a badass car. He's had a badass car since we've known him. He's always got one or another badass car, doesn't he? It's a cool car, too. I like that car. Oh, did you see my grill cover out back, you guys? I don't think you... Well... Punch bug game. Yeah, always has power adders. Yeah, he either got a blower or spray or something on them, don't they? I got this badass cover for my Blackstone grill. It's like, I think mine's 48 inches wide. I got a fucking deck lid for a 65 Chevy Impala. It's got all the taillights in it and everything. It's all beat up. The paint's busted off of it. I'm going to build a steel frame and the hinges and the handle so I can open it up and close it. I'm going to hook the lights up on it and shit. And wanted a lead sled this time. That's kind of a lead sled. Lead sled's like a 40s and 50s car, but that's a fucking tank. That thing's hood is, the trunk's as long as the hood. What's up, Dan? How you doing, brother? Yeah, I'll definitely put some LED lights in it. That's for sure. How long you been in here? Did I miss any? No. There's one of our other Ohio guys that we watch YouTube stuff together. We watch Tony, and I think I've seen him some other places too, but same old. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, pretty much the same old here. Just another night. Got bored and decided to see if anybody wanted to shoot the poop. Yeah, Tony said he is going to stop in Carlisle. He said it's going to be a hit and run deal. He's taking that Hemi to somebody's shop. Custom S auto trim. Man, that sounds really familiar. Let me look that up real quick. I think I do know what that is. I think I spelled it wrong. That's over on Salem Avenue, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it is. I remember seeing that. Man, where was I at the other day? Oh, I had to go up off of Siementhaler to get oh, Brian Pearson. Yeah, I'll have to look. I saw that the other day. I was up on Siementhaler. Jeremy and I were just talking about air chambers. I was up off of Siementhaler putting an air chamber on one of our maintenance trucks. And I remember seeing that down there. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I used to work over on that side of town. I used to work on the corner of Siementhaler and Main in a little bitty muffler shop back when I wore a younger man's clothes. I bet that's where I knew him from. Now that I think about it, okay, so I either worked, it was when I worked. Oh, you haven't been in Dayton since '87. Okay, I got you. I bet you I know there's two places I worked that I probably, because when I worked downtown on Main, on the other side of Main, towards Brown Street, and I used to have guys bring me seat frames that were broken that they were recovering, and they'd have me weld it back together. And I bet that's where I know him from. And I did it at the other shop as well. So I bet you that's where I knew that name was familiar. They were probably bringing me seat frames to weld them back up when they're broken, when they were reupholstering them. So that's probably where it is. My memory's kind of messed up anymore anyway, because of my stupid surgeries that they tried to mutilate me on my hair. What the hell is going on with my hair tonight? It's a bouffant tonight. Yes, the show was on the opposite corner. Yep. It's actually still there. When I drove by it, the muffler shop's like a tire store, and then there used to be a beer dock next door. It's gone. It's leveled. And then yeah, the Shell is still there across the street. And there's a BP, and then there used to be another muffler shop, and it's closed down. It's nothing right now. So yep, still there. Where you live at now? If you don't mind me asking. You don't have to answer that question. I'm not trying to stalk you or anything. Yeah, I used to go to that. Oh, Cincinnati. Okay. So you're not too far away then. Yeah, I used to go to that Shell station all the time, go to the car wash. I don't remember if it still had a car wash or not. And then I'd walk down the street past that to go cash my check at the bank next door, which is probably not a good idea to do that nowadays. That neighborhood's pretty rough. A new dump. Oh, it's not that kind of dump, Chuck. It's a oh, you live down by like where oh shit. Why can't I think of it? What's the little place we go down to see music at and stuff down there? And it's kind of like the Oregon District. Shit, I can't think of what it's called. I haven't been down there in a few years because they don't really do any live shows anymore. Used to be a Kroger down in there too by the soccer fields in UC. Bogarts, thank you. Yes. That's a cool end of town. I like that end of town. If I would move down there, that's probably where I would live. Oh, back to. Oh, they did just redo the Kroger? Yeah, last time we were down there was, geez, it was probably 3 years ago, and they had just torn it down. They just torn the old one down. It was just a big empty lot. That's cool. And they were building a parking garage for the soccer field there at UC because we actually parked in it. Yeah, Chuck, it's not going to be like a trash dump. It's a dump site where, so anytime you go and this is EPA per EPA rules, anytime you go out and dig a hole, like they dig a hole in your street, if you ever notice, they put that gravel and dirt into a dump truck and it leaves, and then they bring back new gravel. You can't put the the old spoils, they call them. You can't put those back in the ground. You have to move them to another site. I know it doesn't make any fucking sense, but so we have to have a place to take all our old spoils and dump them. So what they do is they buy this land and then they fill it, level it, and then they sell it or they build something on it. I don't know if you remember where the old incinerator was on Webster Street, where it made the curve into Vandalia. Like that's leveled now. There's nothing there anymore. So used to be a big brick water reservoir there. For some reason, I remember that. I think it was when I was a kid and we used to go to the zoo. Yeah, we've only got one. And you know what's funny is actually our dump is not even a dump. That's a transfer station now. We don't burn it. We don't bury it. We don't do nothing. Literally, you go and drop it off. And correct, Dan. Yep. Yep. Yeah, in Moraine, that used to be an incinerator. And now it's just a transfer station. They haven't burnt anything for like 10 years. And we used to have another incinerator up in Vandalia. I work for Montgomery County. And it's, oh, you mean our stuff? It's just county, just the county stuff. Yeah. The city has their own, all the other cities have their own, but this is just what the county does, is what we're talking about. I was up there working on those machines because they're knocking a bunch of trees down and stuff. But yeah, we won't ever have another dump or an incinerator because the EPA won't allow us to do it. So literally, the one we have now in Moraine, it's just a transfer station. Like you take your stuff in, you dump it out, and then when the bulldozers and stuff are pushing it over, there's literally semis underground, and it's just shoving them right into the semi trailers, and then they take off and they're dumping down in well, it's on your way to Cincinnati. It's down there past Tylersville. It's oh shoot, I can't think of what it's called. Anyway, that's where they're taking it now. Shit, I can't think what it's called. We got a shop down there in that city too. AAA does. We do. My old work, Charles and Rob's shop. Coleraine. They're taking it down to Coleraine and dumping it. That's where it is. I guess there's a big landfill down there somewhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was when you backed up to that thing. Yeah, that was like a drop, man. You had to be careful. You'd freaking die if you fell in that damn thing. And then yeah, that funneled down into the incinerator. But yeah, the whole building is different now. Like, yeah, Rumpke, yeah, and so yeah, where it used to funnel into the incinerator into the burners, now there's like 4 tunnels that go in there, and they just pull the semis under and they smash it down in there, and then the dudes take off, and then the guy behind them, they just keep on all day long, just rolling trash. It was scary. You're right. That's all good, Don. I hear you, brother. I'm whipped too, so get your rest, man. Thanks for stopping by. I know it was kind of a boring night, but I appreciate y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully I got a couple likes out of the deal. Take it easy, dog. Good night, brother. But yeah, yeah, that was scary though. I remember that when I was a kid. I'm like, ooh, I took some shit down on my grandpa, and I'm like, whoa. See you at Tony's. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll see you at Tony's tomorrow night, Don. No worries. Ruh-roh. Is it working? What happened? Something happened here. Wait. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's freaked out for a second. Yeah, it was about 50-foot drop. It was scary because like you'd back up to it and open the tailgate on the truck, and you're like, whoa. But it's not like that anymore. You back in, and it's like you back into the flat spot, and then they pile it up. And then like every maybe 15, 20 minutes, it's like they have to stop traffic, and then they shove everything all the way down to this big funnel. And then there's another guy, they're all shoving it this way, and there's another guy who's pushing it this way, and it's just loading into semi-trailers. And then they roll out, and then there's big flaps that close, and then the next guy pulls on, and they got it down to a science, that's for sure. Because man, when COVID hit, we were all over there, because I'm over here in Kettering, where the water treatment plant is. That's where our service garage is. Ours is Eastern, and that one's like, I guess you would call it south. Then we got Western, which is over where the river makes a curve there on Hydraulic Road. The county's got shit everywhere, but the only 2 places that there's vehicle maintenance is at Solid Waste, which is Moraine, and then Kettering, which is Eastern, which is they change the name of it all the time, but it's actually Water Services. We do water and sewer, our trucks do. But I mean, I work on everything, so. But yeah, it was that was definitely some scary shit the way that place was built. But yeah, it's kind of a highway garage. We've got pits that we work in. I mean, literally, we work on everything. Like if we've got if there's a sheriff's car that's in the area and it needs worked on, they bring it to us. If there's one in the area that's broke down, I go after it. We will help Kettering with their stuff. They actually they bought some land across the street. If something happens, we help each other out. We all have it falls into the mutual aid thing, like when there's a fire or a natural emergency or whatever. Yeah, we're all cool with each other. We take care of each other. But yeah, it's the building I work in is a really big building. But we've got a lot of vehicles that have water on board year round, so we have to keep them inside in the winter. So a lot of my building is storage for these big Vector trucks, big hydro excavator trucks. We're actually they're gonna add on a parts building to our building, because back in like 2000 when they built the garage I'm in, they built this big giant mezzanine thing that's really tall, and it's completely unsafe. Like they don't even want to, like our safety people don't even want us going up on it. So yeah, they kind of condemned that thing. So we need room to store parts, and we actually need that bay, because that actually makes the bay under it useless, which is totally stupid how they did it. So they're talking about building a 60 by 60 addition out into our parking lot, which is overly huge. We don't need it. So we'll see if that ever happens. I don't know. It would really be cool if it did. It would be great to have our own parts room and be able to lock shit up, because people can get in there at night that don't need to be in there. Somebody took a key off my key ring. I just noticed today, like where I was out today trying to get in that gate. We call them water sewer keys, and they'll unlock all the water sewer locks in the county. And somebody took that off my key ring, which is kind of fucking scary if you think about it. So whoever got in there, I mean, you got to have a badge to get in our doors, but problem is everybody can get on our doors. And for some reason, they decided they needed to go through my desk. Yeah. Oh, we have literally acres to park on that's on blacktop. I mean, we only use maybe 20% of the parking that we have, so we're good to be able to build a building on it. And what's really nice is the spot where they want to build it is already concrete. I mean, it shouldn't be that big a deal. I don't even think they'll have to dig the concrete up and re-pour it, because there's dumpsters and shit on it. So it's probably pretty thick concrete already. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. I'll do some videos and pictures of it and stuff. They get kind of weird at me about doing shit at work, but I'm just like, fucking whatever. This is public works. I should be able to do whatever I want to. Everybody should know what's going on behind the scenes. But I don't know. They get kind of pissy about it, but whatever. You can tell it really bothers me. But yeah, been doing that. I've been working on that bulldozer, getting some new trucks ready to go on the road. Getting ready to go. We're going camping at Lake Erie this weekend. That should be really fun. We're going up to East Harbor, and we'll go to take my camper, and we'll go to Put-in Bay, and yeah. I do try and just stick to working on car stuff, and if anybody's around, I'm like, yeah, I don't really fart with it too much, But I did want to take some videos of working on that big D8 dozer, because it's pretty cool, and I've never worked on a bulldozer until today, and I've been doing this for 30 years, actually more than that. I've been doing it for 32 years. 32 years, like right about now, because I was 16, started working in the summertime. So yeah, I'm an old fart, as it would be in mechanics years. But I mean, it's, like I said, I've never worked on a bulldozer in my life. I was at our local, tavern up here tonight, getting something to eat real quick, and sitting with a friend of mine, and he was like, "What'd you work on today?" And I showed him, and he was like, "Have you ever worked on a bulldozer before?" I'm like, "Nope." It's like, well, how do you know what you're doing? And I'm like, well, it's all general principle. It's just some of us catch on to it faster than the other one, and some of us don't. It's like me working on a computer. Like, I have fucking no clue. Like, no clue about working on a computer. And this guy is like the one I was talking to, like, he works on all those automated robots that, build cars and shit. Oh, I would have no clue. I'm doing it's a 1988. It's a D8T. We call it the Dayton, or it's a D8N. Sorry, we call it D8N. We call it the Dayton. It's a 1988, and I'm doing a air conditioning compressor on it. So it has the old R12 in it, and I converted it to 134 a while back, and I knew it wasn't working very well. So it took me like 2 weeks to find a compressor for it and match it up. So I went out there today and took the compressor off because I knew the one I had was close. It's going to work, but I knew the electrical wasn't right. So I got it off and put everything in the truck and brought it back, cut the old harness off, put the new harness on. And tomorrow I'll be putting, we already have a Duramax plant, Jeremy. It's in Moraine. It's been there for a long time. They started building Isuzu motors there back in the 80s. So, yeah. They're building a new Duramax plant, but we have a Duramax plant. We've had it for a long, long time. It's down by a truck plant. Yeah, it's an enclosed dozer. Yeah, they had AC on them back then. Yeah, they're building a new plant, Jeremy. But there's literally they've been building diesel engines over there. It used to be called oh shit! I can't even. They made an Isuzu engine there back when I worked at the plant. Yeah, Duramaxes are built in Dayton. Yeah, down. I'm sure you remember where the truck and bus plant was if you were back, in the 80s here. It was oh shit! It was like where Doco and Moraine was, and yeah, and they're actually they're building a new plant next to the old plant. And the old truck and bus is a Fuyao glass company now. I don't know if you know that or not, Dan. But yeah, it's an enclosed bulldozer. Here, let me see. I can pull a picture up for you real quick if it shows up. It's kind of cool, but it's just like it sucks because it's all metal and it's really tall. I don't know if you can see it real well. I know my lights are going to start messing with it. But it's like that ladder there, that's like a 4-foot ladder. That's just so I can get up on the track and then get up, I can get up into here and get the compressor off of it and all that good jazz. But it was a beautiful day, though, to be out there working on it today. I was not complaining at all. I mean, it's a cool machine. And all it is, it's out there on that dump site just pushing trees down, and it's a big old Caterpillar. Yeah, it is by the old DP&L plant. You're right. Yep. But yes, Terry Pearl's dad works at the Duramax plant, Jeremy, by the way. Has for eons since they built the Isuzu engines there. They're building a little Isuzu diesel engine for like the Samurais and they use them in the S10s and all that shit, way back when. That place has been there forever. Yep, sure did. But they're building like a really super duper like automated plant, which kind of bothers me because, but they've changed a lot of stuff on the Duramax that I don't really agree with. Like they went from the Isuzu Hombre, exactly. They went from like a forged crank to a cast crank, and you can't really do that shit with a diesel. Guys are just gonna whenever guys play with these things, they're just gonna fucking obliterate them. The cool thing they did to them though is they made them 32 valves. I thought that was pretty sweet. The new ones are coming out are 32 valves. So, but I just don't agree with the bottom end stuff on because it was like Ford always used the international engines, and then they started building their actual own engine when the 6.7 came out. They made forged internals and blah 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 blah. Well, I don't know if they're having any more or any less problems with them, but I would feel safer with a forged crank than a cast crank, especially on something like a diesel you're making like an ass load of torque with. But like I said, they're making changes to that stuff. And GM's always been kind of a cheap ass when it comes to anything. Even when I worked there back in the late 90s, they were just, if they could save 2 cents, they would. And it was like, I don't know. The 6.4, yeah. That's kind of a bastard engine too. Yeah, Ford are cheap asses too. Yeah. But Chrysler is probably the cheapest ass of them all because they don't even make their own shit. They just buy everybody else's junk like a fucking a Fiat and make the fucking Dart out of it. I would have been so pissed if I'd have been like a diehard Dodge guy and Chrysler came out with a fucking Dart. It's a goddamn Fiat. I would be so mad. And that car sucks. I mean, it is bad. Yeah, like AMC. Well, I mean, AMC kind of just mixed matched everybody's shit, but it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it was old stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I own a GMC truck, so I can't really say a whole lot. And I always was a Ford guy until I got this one, so I guess I can complain because I've owned all of them, But it's like any of the new Dodge stuff, it's like I just think it's crap. Yeah, exactly, Dan. I agree, man. They're just all junk nightmares. It's like, and these new Hemis that are making all this power and stuff, they're not going to last. Well, I got a good one for you. We've got 2 trucks with the new Godzilla 7.3 pushrod engine in it, the F550, the Ford. I have one already that's broke. Yep, it is at the dealer with internal engine damage. So, yeah, you do need to get rid of that damn thing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we do have Chevy trucks I agree. Yeah, and funny story, and Rob can tell you, I had a 2004 F-150, the Super Crew with a 5.3 3-valve, worst fucking engine ever. But I bought it cheap because it was broke, and I mean, I drove it for a long time. That was it. It still is to this day probably one of my favorite trucks. But when I went to this, I got a 2011 2500 HD with a 6-liter in it. No fucking way that F-150 would ever pull like this thing does. I mean, this thing is a tank. And it's got big brakes on it, and it's got, it's a beast. Of course, somebody fucked around and put 456 gears in it, but, oh no. I mean, it was good when it ran. I mean, Rob, you can see it. We pulled the boat with that son of a bitch a lot. So, and that truck's still running to this day. So, but I know Rob. See, the thing is, Rob had to do a lot of those 3-valve motors and put timing chains and guides and phasers and shit in them. So he ain't real fond of them. He got real good at them though. I think I did 2 or 3 of them, putting phasers and stuff in. So, and they did run good, but oh yeah, I had to get in a timing system. When I bought it, it was only running on one side of the engine. One of the phasers failed. I think it was the driver's side. I barely made it home, and I only worked 2 miles from the house at the time. And but I bought the truck dirt cheap. It was pretty decent when I got it, and yeah, backed it in the driveway and just had to tear that whole side of the engine down. And well, I tore it all down. I put all new phasers, all new chains, all new guides, all new oil control valves, you know, all that stuff. And then I drove it for shit. I put 100,000 miles on. I drove it for like 4 years after that, and then I sold it 2 years ago. And I saw the guy the other day. I was down camping in Caesars Creek, and I saw the guy. We went down to the flea market just far around, and I saw the guy that bought it off of me, still kicking. He said, "That sumbitch runs like a champ." I was like, "Yeah, the bed's rusty as hell, but she'll keep on going." But anywho. But anyways. Yep. Well, and in its defense, the Godzilla motor is what Rob just said. So the only other truck that's in there that has yeah, the spark plugs. I'll tell you the trick to those. Get you a little electric impact gun, and it will rattle those fuckers loose damn near every time. You put it on there. Guys from the dealership, Mike Skaggs told me that. I was like, how the hell do you get these spark plugs out without them vibrating and breaking off? He's like, man, you just get you a little electric 3/8 impact. He's like, put it down there and just rattle the shit out of it. He said he'll knock that thing just loose perfect. And we started doing that. And, I mean, we used to break 4 or 5 of them. Now we may break 1 or 2. Back to the Godzilla. Yeah, there you go. Run it till it's hot. Yep. Exactly, Jeremy. It just did a set of those maps. Yeah. Oh, but in the Godzilla engine's defense, the only other truck in the fucking fleet that we have that's broke is the same truck. It's a vac truck, and it's the same department, and it's the same fucking guy that drives it. So there's 2 of them, 2 different engines. Like the other one is the V10, the 6.8. It dropped a valve, and we had it fixed, and he drove it for like fucking 3 weeks, and it's broke again. It's misfiring. And then this one, same operator, no miles on it. So I'm like, it's got a lot of hours on it for the miles, and we kind of go. We'll get in. I have to write down all the specifics of it, but yeah, they are expensive. But the thing of it is they're still under warranty, so Ford has to fix them because there's no miles on them, and there's no hours on them. But yeah, they're like he came in today. He's like, I call him Pretty Boy. He's this little geeky looking pretty boy. Always has his shirts all pressed and everything's tucked in straight. He comes in, he's looking. It's like, where's my truck at? I'm like, well, first of all, it's not your truck unless you want to show me a title with your name on it. And second of all, it's in a dealership because you broke the engine in this one too. And he was like, oh. I was like, yeah. So he's got a meeting tomorrow. He may not be allowed to operate a vehicle by himself anymore. Yeah, evidently they just don't like sitting there and idling. But so back to that story. We have an identical twin to that truck. It has a vac on it, the big heavy bed, same thing. And 2 other guys drive it, and they work the shit out of this truck. I mean, it's on the road way better, and we have no problems with it. So it's like, what are we doing here? Are we sitting here and like doing some dumb shit, trying to put it on a rev limiter and make poppy cracky noises in the parking lot at the car meets, or what the fuck are we doing here, Yeah, we've decided that we're going to start servicing them sooner. We're serving us. We just changed the rules the other day to 2,500 miles, or 500 hours. There's an equation. I don't remember what it is right now, but I think it's per every hour of idling, it's 25 miles of wear. So some of these fuckers have got like 1,800 miles on them, but they got 1,800 hours on them. So it's ridiculous. They've got like 20,000 miles on them already, and they've never even fucking had the oil change done on them. So yeah, we're trying to figure out what he's doing to it. I was hoping that I went into the freeze frame on it, hoping to see something stupid that happened, but nothing was, out of the ordinary. So we'll figure it out sooner or later, or they're just going to take him out of the truck. Because, those, you got to figure those cabs and chassis, and then the beds, and then the wax machines that are on the back of them. That's a $400,000 rig. And now we're down one, So, yeah, we're going to figure it out. We put him in some old beat up ass G30 van the other day. It's got holes in the floors and shit. It's like, is this all you got? I'm like, this is all you get. It's got an LS in it. You can't blow that fucker up. I bet he'll show us how to blow up a goddamn LS. Shit. Well, it's 10:37. We've been on here for almost an hour and 40 minutes. I think I'm ready to roll, brother mans. If you guys don't have any other questions, I really appreciate you stopping by. I really do. But I'm old and tired, and I got to get up too damn early. Check out my new shirt, though. The Dadalorian. Boom. So, yeah, I'll have some more stories about people. Yeah, I got that for Father's Day yesterday. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have more stories about these dummies I work with, man. They literally have no common sense. It is just fucking amazing. It's like, I don't expect them to know how to work on a car. I don't expect them to know shit about a car. But I expect them to have some common sense, God damn it. So, but anyway, like I said, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to try and do this every week on Tuesday unless I'm out of town. And it's, yeah, they don't care. They drive them like they stole them, Dan. That's the problem. Good night, Jeremy. I hope you feel better, brother. Yeah, they don't care. They just drive them like they stole them, and they just look at you like you're stupid. What'd you do to it? I don't know. It's blowed up. I don't know. So, yes, common sense is not so common anymore. That's for damn sure. Like I said, I don't expect them to know how to work on them. I don't expect them to tell me exactly what happened, but say, hey, I fucked around and fell asleep and put my foot on the floor. That's what I think. That's what I think's happening. Because you would be, a lot of you know, like, when I come up on these dump sites, man, there's guys back in the trees in the shade, fucking dead asleep. Like, I woke you up. Sorry. Yeah, I checked the oil in them, Later, Rob. So yeah, we, periodically I just go around and just do random oil checks, like fucking pop the hoods. I mean, they can't say anything to me because I'm in charge of fleet maintenance, so they do get weird when I start poking and prodding around. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm checking the oil in this vehicle to see what it looks like, see if we need to service it. Well, the service sticker doesn't say it due. I'm like, well, that doesn't fucking matter. I want to look at it and see if it's due. So, but anyway, like I said, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I'm going to go to bed. I got to get up and do it all over again. I'll try and take some video of doing that AC compressor for you, Dan. I'll put that up on my YouTube since Lord only knows the next time I'll get to do it. That's the only track dozer we have too. So, yep, no problem, man. Welcome. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. In the meantime, get out there and fix something. Peace out.